Steph, how did you feel like Jimmy Butler going out of the game in that first quarter affected the offense? And what did you notice from the Rockets defensively after that?
I mean, it's tough. I haven't seen him play yet, but Jimmy's going for a rebound and comes down. I've had that happen a couple of times. You know exactly what it is. It's just a matter of how bad it was, and I don't know. But it definitely changed the dynamic of our offense. It's even him and BP played a combined 21 minutes, so it's kind of it shuffled all the rotations a little bit, and we put up a good fight. But I knew they were selling out again to try to take my clean looks away, and I got a little rushed certain possessions trying to go 1-on-3 or sometimes 4, and had a couple jump ball turnovers and stuff like that. But I know we'll be able to adjust going home just to be able to figure out where spacing is, whether Jimmy's out there or not, to get ourselves clean looks. We had a couple runs second half where we had some life, but they had too much separation. We couldn't get over the hump.
Did you get a chance to talk to Jimmy either at halftime or right after the game, and any get a feel for how he's feeling right now?
Nah, I'm sure 800 people have asked him, so I didn't want to be 801. I know if he can play, he'll play, and that's what you expect.
What are the first few days after a contusion like that, the ones that you've dealt with, what do they feel like? And, is it a pain tolerance thing generally to see if you can play?
I don't want to speak on what he's got going on because one of mine was like a hairline fracture and the other one was just a deep contusion, so they're very different and you have to handle them differently. The last one I had was just a contusion, and that is just a pain tolerance thing to make sure you don't have – it doesn't change your mechanics, or there's not compensation injuries that could happen if you're not moving right. So, yeah, I think hopefully it's just a contusion because you could play through that eventually.
Draymond said he thought it was less physical tonight than game one. What did you think of just the overall physicality Houston brought?
I mean, actually, I might agree with that. There's just a couple crashes that happened out there, but it felt like they were. We know what their MO is and what they're trying to do. Use their size, their athleticism, their size advantage at times to try to bully us. And we held up a pretty good fight both games. I think we just let Jalen get going a little bit, and he got free to space. There's no reason he should get up 18 threes. We got to figure out a way to control where he is on the floor. Those are all momentum threes that kind of kept the separation. So, yeah, probably, as physical as game one, but just a different style because we let him get loose.
Steph, I think you guys have been held under 100 in 5 of the 7 games total this season against them. Is that just how the series is going to go with their style of play, or how do you guys combat that?
How many times have they been under 100? That's just the style of, this matchup. So I don't care what the score is, as long as we got more points. We got to get back to
that. You always say, stay ready, even if you're out of the rotation. Jonathan's obviously been out for a while. Did you know he would be ready, and did you think he performed like someone who was ready tonight?
I thought he played aggressive. I know he probably wants to play better and, knock the rust off, but as soon as Jimmy went down, I actually saw him on the bench and gave him a little love and knew he was going to get his number called pretty quickly. And that is the nature of this league. We talked about it all the time. It's just hard to know and predict when it's going to be. But for him to come out and play with energy and aggressive, with aggressiveness and just understand he can impact the game and he's going to have a huge part in what we do. I think whether Jimmy's out there or not, it feels like it could swing a different way. And so that's the challenge, and it's always been for him to see the pictures, understand the intensity that's out there, try to be in the right spots defensively, and then when he has opportunities to, be aggressive on the offensive end, take them. We trust him when he has the ball in his hands, and however many minutes he's out there, and be ready to play.
Steph, so get rebounding was a challenge tonight. So
You said what?
Rebounding was a challenge tonight. What gave you guys confidence that the team can make necessary adjustment next game?
I thought it was better. They got only 11 offensive rebounds. Obviously, they made more shots, but they only got 11 offensive rebounds. So I don't think that was more the problem tonight. We, again, let Jalen get loose on some big momentum threes and took advantage of some matchups. So I liked our attention to detail on the offensive end, the offensive rebounding, and trying to keep them off the glass. Just got to get more stops.
Steph, obviously losing Jimmy hurts, but how does it change the way you play tonight? Excuse me, or you need to play if you can't play game 3? I mean, you've obviously structured a lot of offense and defense around his skill set these last 2 months. How stylistically, how does the equation change, do you think?
Well, no, we'll talk. I mean, I don't want to talk too much about it. He could be back next game, so I don't want to dwell too much on it. But if for whatever reason he's not out there, I'll carry a lot of the lift and the load on trying to create shots and create advantages. We'll have different rotations out there, but there's a couple plays that we call for him specifically, but the rest of it is just trying to make the simple play, not turn the ball over, hit the open guy, set solid screens, shoot if you're open. It's normal basketball. It's just a matter of can we do it consistently enough, make enough shots. I don't think it's too much rocket science. It's just got to be able to do it.
Hey, Steph, you played in a lot of playoff series, and so you've seen all kinds of things happen. Is this what you expect with these two teams? One team makes an adjustment, the other team makes the adjustment just for the entire series. Is that what you expect?
I think the goal is when you start on the road, you want to get one. That's what we did. We wanted to get greedy tonight and try to get another one. But you had to expect that they were going to come out with some force, and you look around the league, evenly matched series have pretty much gone that same kind of way, whether the road team wins the first game or the second game. It's just it's a long series. And we've shown that we have what it takes to put together a 48-minute effort and beat a very good Houston Rockets team. We got to do it 3 more times, however we can get there. So there's going to be adjustments every game, and that's what you love about the playoffs, because you're really trying to figure out a team, and they're trying to figure out you, and it's a game of runs.
When you talk about seeing the pictures with Kuminga, what do you mean by that?
Understanding where help side defense is, where your driving angles are, not driving into a crowd. If you're open, shoot it. All the decisions that you make pretty quickly. I think when we're at our best as a team, not just him, when we're at our best as a team, either me or Jimmy creates an advantage. We swing the ball. The ball starts hopping. You either get somebody at the basket, or you get a clean look from 3. You create closeouts that are really hard for teams to have to guard consistently, and just understanding where your spots are, and being aggressive in those opportunities.
You said if Jimmy can't play, you'll have to carry a lot of the lift, and he sort of memorably called himself Robin to your Batman. If he can't play, does Batman have to find another Robin, or is it multiple Robins, or how do you view that?
I love we're trying to stretch the nickname. I don't know. I'm not too familiar with the comic world to have any other references other than we just got to find a way to win. And it's been by committee, maybe not scoring wise, but in terms of the pieces fitting and, connecting the game offensively and defensively. So whoever's out there, still have the confidence that we can win.
Steph, I think there was a moment when you and Jalen were fighting for ball on the ground. I don't know if y'all were joking or it seemed like y'all came up with a laugh. What were y'all saying in that moment, if you remember?
There's a lot of rah-rah stuff in those kind of tussles for the ball, and especially in their home crowd. Fred did it game one when I lost it at the free throw line on our side, and he tied it up. And Jalen did it twice tonight. It's just good basketball. I know Jalen from a long time, so I was just trying to prove I was stronger than him.
Steph,
Say what? We'll arm wrestle after the series is over. Let's see.
Steph, what would you say has been the biggest challenge for you facing this young Houston Rockets team, first game and second game?
Just knowing that if I get by the first defender, there's going to be another wave of defenders, collapsing. They put 4 different guys on me in the first 2 games. Fred, Dylan, Eason. So they try to keep a fresh body on you, but they're trying to take away a lot of the off-ball stuff, which we know is our kind of pet actions to get me, free if they're going to trap the ball screens and all that. But I'm seeing a good picture, understanding where some space is, and I'll make, the necessary adjustments for game 3.
What do you need from your teammates offensively to kind of relieve some of that pressure?
Just keep the game simple. You don't got to overthink anything. Just shoot when you're open, pass the open guy. I'll keep myself out of those traps and tough spots on the court where I think there was 3 times tonight I ran into, 2 or 3 different defenders, and there was a couple of jump balls, and I lost the turnover in the third quarter. So I'll try to keep the game simple on my end too. But if you're open, shoot it. If not, swing it. Run, transition to open space. It's not a complicated game plan. It's just, can we execute and can we make enough shots? And I think we can.
Great. Thank you.